um, when I saw this video response I received, I just knew I had to respond in video form to it because it's just priceless. And you'll begin to see why.
Oh yeah, I'm an atheist. You don't have to be a certain thing to be an atheist. It's a decision that you make on your own anyway. By the way, I was born that way, by the way. I don't understand what you're saying. We don't think like that. Didn't you get it? We don't think about a God. And you think it's more rational to believe that there's a magic superhero in the sky than to just understand science if you want to know what's going to happen when you die or whatever. I don't know what your reason is. Science and atheism aren't there to answer those questions. That's not what it's about. Science answers scientific questions. You know you make a complete fool out of yourself wearing that little hoodie, trying to look all thug and shit. You were, well, I don't know what that thing, that pwn deal is. It's some new computer thing these guys made up, but you've been pwned.
Okay, so there's not really much to respond to here. This just appears to be some kind of weird joke. But he seems to have a serious channel, so I guess I'll respond. Your entire video was just one big train of assumptions, and your response did not even make any sense whatsoever to what I was saying. I assume me pointing out a fallacy that some type of atheists engage in is so you think that you have to make this video and say that there's no criteria for atheism, so that somehow means the atheists themselves as people can't use fallacies, whatever. But anyways, your whole entire video is just one huge straw man and appeal to ridicule. You just go on and on and on about the Bible. Guess what? I don't believe that. You go on and on and on about evolution, saying, oh, you just question evolution and blah blah blah. Sorry, but I never even talked about evolution in my video because I believe it, and it's kind of an unnecessary topic that I don't feel like talking about because anyone who denies it is generally kind of crazy.
You don't have to be a certain thing to be an atheist.
Likewise, you don't have to be religious to be a theist. So you making assumptions about me being a Christian when I'm not are kind of funny, and it's a bit ironic that you would say this to me.
Your poop, for instance, comes out in Africa and tells them that condoms cause AIDS.
My Pope? My Pope? I didn't know I was Catholic. How did you get that from any of my videos or anything? Where did I say I was Catholic? Because I didn't.
And things like that. See, it's ridiculous. And yet you all think that's more rational.
Nope.
Than to believe in yourself and understand that you're the one that does what you do and that you have to take responsibility for everything you do. Yeah, it's your responsibility, not a God's or a devil's.
That's pretty funny. So, in your metaphysical naturalism worldview, somehow that gives you free will, whereas theism doesn't give you free will to choose and be held responsible for your actions. So you're over here talking about science, and science presupposes determinism, which is a basically that everything behaves according to law and is consistent. So if I do a test, I'm running under the assumption that that same exact test is going to work the same exact way tomorrow, because gravity is consistent, and these are laws of the universe that they are true, but I'm not saying they're not. However, in your worldview, everything behaves exactly the way it is, or it does. There is no manipulation of the naturalistic forces. So all of the chemicals and physical forces in your brain are going to behave the same way. The neurons are going to interact with each other in the same exact way every single time. And nothing is going to manipulate that. There's going to be no manipulation because everything behaves according to law and is consistent. So how are you responsible for your actions if you're just a biological robot? I'm just curious. How does? I mean, I'm not saying it's false. I'm just saying that here you are preaching free will when you don't even believe in theism. You're an atheistic materialist. As you said, you don't believe in any type of creator or force or anything like that.
And just because you question evolution, it doesn't make you an atheist. There's atheists, I bet, that question evolution, and that's only because they're stupid. They just don't get it. It's not that tough. It's not that difficult. You can watch it right now, as a matter of fact, with fruit flies.
Here's one of my biology textbooks. Fruit flies. Yeah, I know all about them. You're just wasting my time talking about evolution. I don't need to know, or I don't need to hear what you think you know about science. Richard Dawkins, he's not much of a philosopher in my opinion. But, however, I think he's a pretty good scientist.
And you pick on evolution as if that's our standard bearer or something.
You know, you've said so many things that blatantly contradict my actual beliefs, as if you were arguing against a ghost. So if it weren't for that little hoodie comment you put in your video, I probably wouldn't even have responded to you, because I would have figured that you were just posting a random response to my video that had nothing to do with me.
You're just a little kid that doesn't understand what he's talking about.
I'm 20. Thanks.
What is atheistism? Can you tell me that? Maybe it's because we read. We actually read. Because we want to know. We read so that we can understand the information.
Yeah, I've read the whole thing. I also have. So yeah, I read.
I believed it. Isn't that funny? No, there's no criteria to be an atheist. You gave me that label. I just don't believe in your myths and your superheroes. You don't need them. They're unnecessary, for crying out loud. It's like getting your dick cut off. That circumcision shit. Unnecessary completely.
So, as an atheist, you don't have a criteria for evaluating anything. You don't ask what God is. You don't think about it. You don't have a position, yet you come on here and argue on YouTube. Well, isn't that just easy for you? You don't have to take a position. You can just be a spectator and just respond to everyone. But whenever someone attacks your position, what you believe, then you can just say, oh, well, I don't have a position. I just don't have anything. I don't have to answer anything. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit here and not accept what you believe. I'm sorry, but the burden of proof doesn't work like that. You see, the burden of proof is first on me, and I'm using proof in the colloquial sense. The burden of proof is first on me. Then I present you with an argument. And once I have presented an argument, the burden shifts to you. You don't necessarily have to disprove anything. But what you do have to do is refute my argument. The burden is on you after that point. My argument doesn't necessarily have to be good, but if I present you with something and you can't argue against it and you just say, oh, well, I don't accept that, I don't think that's reasonable. Well, just your incredulity has plays no role in the debate, and too many atheists think they can just do that and say, I'm not convinced yet. Oh, well, who cares? Who cares if you're not convinced yet? You still lost.
So, you want answers? You got them. But you've been pwned.
Yes, I've been pwned. You just spent this whole entire video arguing against a position I do not hold. So basically, you're arguing against made-up beliefs that no one was talking about. Who's the delusional one now?